going to jump in here before. No. Stop. Because I had a feeling she might front run this. Okay. And so let me play a clip first because we got to go back to this. So give me a second here.
Mark is so secretive when it comes to the things that he's working on. He'll always tell you, I hold my card close to my chest. I don't really like to tell what I'm working on, you know, but I will say, and this is because he had done a recent interview that was just put out there, that he is working on something and for, you know, obviously Bancorn Carbon DeFi. And what it is, he doesn't specify, but he was saying that he's, you know, surprising himself, seeing what it actually is. And to the extent that he personally didn't think and doesn't believe that anybody else really would, that this sort of thing is achievable in smart contracts. So I don't know what that is. I don't think he's going to tell us what that is, but he's definitely working on something. And the time frame, just because they squeezed it out of him, which normally doesn't happen either, if he had to guess, he was saying about 6 months. So I will maybe take that one off of your plate, Mark. So you're welcome.
A few moments later.
I want to know what Mark's cooking that even has him impressed by himself. It's gonna be absolutely out of this world. I can't wait 6 months, Mark.
That was a misquote. I promise you I would never be so arrogant to say that about myself.
Well, we would never take it that way.
Maybe I misquoted him. You know, I might have paraphrased, but
we love it. I mean, it's always super interesting when you know people are cooking up something, and you have this feeling it's gonna be special, and you know, I do have that feeling with you guys.
I had a feeling that you might go there, Jen. So I probably should have played it first. And so I'm going to jump Mark in. And yeah, I get it, man. You can't tell us anything about it, but just wouldn't mind hearing just, you know, like Jen said, you didn't know if it was going to happen. And now it sounds like it's happening. So just your thoughts on that, whatever you can tell us anyways. Yeah.
So I can tell you it's a significant body of work. So I think just recently in the in the Banco Telegram channels, I have said that it's currently, so as of right now, and I was working on it, moving into the call that you and I have now, currently on page 95, an equation 496, right? So it's an extremely large document, and I've tried to, make sure that everything is asserted with reason, right? So a lot of the time you'll find, especially in DeFi and blockchain, people will sort of say something and then not really go to the effort of like rigorously proving it, right, from first principles. And so in this particular case, I thought that it was warranted that every single thing that I say have at least a formal proof or a provenance for like where these claims kind of come from, that sort of thing. And so yeah, it's getting very long in the tooth now, but almost complete. I'm up to the internal peer review sort of part of this process, where like I'm now confident that I'm right on everything that I say there. But there's probably, when you get to 100 pages, there's definitely, formatting errors and typing errors and that kind of thing that needs to be caught before it goes out. But this is a relatively fast compared to the work that goes into producing it in the first place. So in terms of the underlying theory, it's now completed. It's now just making sure that everything is written down correctly and presented appropriately, and then it can go out the door. So I've given myself sort of a hard deadline for having the document finished and going through formal review internally by the end of October. And I expect then that it will only be a week or two or three before I can submit it to, as a provisional patent, and then we can finally reveal it to everyone. So it's very, very close.